Okay, so this was a question I received on somebody having an interaction with another individual, feeling and the other person was quite defensive and had some anger, and so the response was feelings of uneasiness and hurt, um, and uh, and the person didn't want to look on the other person with negativity or to feel bad about the situation. So to talk on that and the Course in Miracles. Okay, so I'll go through some of the Course lessons. In my defenselessness, my safety arises. So when or my attack thoughts attack my invincibility, or something along those lines. So there's an aspect of myself which is invincible, which is unlimited, which is peaceful at all times, and which doesn't get, I like actually my attack thoughts. It's my attack thoughts that attack my peace and stillness and my unlimited nature. So actually, if I perceive another person as attacking me, or we could say all that, I think even better than that, but of course is, I'll just reframe that, is all attack thoughts, if I hold them in mind, will mean that I'm not able to experience my infinite nature or the infinite peace or silence. So whether I perceive an attack thought in me about somebody else, or whether I pick up that someone else is having an attack thought against me, like anger or defensiveness or something like that, as long as if that is held, the thoughts in me, or the thoughts in, or what I perceive as the thoughts in them, or the reactions in them, then I lose that experience of my infinite nature, or my defense, the nature which is beyond attack, which is my essence, which it cannot be attacked either from the thoughts of my ego or the thoughts or the attacks of people outside at what at the perception of what I think I am. So so what I would say on that, and so there's loss of peace, because so it's like, instead of this I could see peace. So instead of their defensiveness I could see peace. Instead of my uneasy feelings I could see peace. So these are just different ways of deleting the feeling of a dualistic interaction. So the Course in Miracles later says, because I do the lessons, not really the text, is it says you'll come to a place towards the end of the book where you find there's nothing to forgive. There was nothing to forgive. And that happens as you break down the idea, you do, God is loving, which I bless them for being angry at me, or God is loving, which I bless myself for having an uneasy interaction. But as you keep doing that over and over again, because you get to a place where you lose your ability to hold on to the pain against the other person, and to let it go. And then you see, actually, there was nothing ever to forgive. It's just something I was just holding a story about. Also, on a practical, I would like to talk on a practical level. My experience of, it's actually, I wrote about it in my book. It's not as amazing as Dr. Hugh Len, who had a prison of a prison of criminals, and he didn't meet them. He just forgave them from their files. He called what it called clearing the data, that he saw, okay, this person's an axe murderer, this person likes to run over kids. And he did the process of just clearing those thoughts, or forgiving those thoughts, or letting the thoughts go. And everyone in the prison got well, and they shut down the prison. That's documented. So he's a mystic. But I wrote my own book, plugging my own book, I guess, Bulletproof Peace, where I knew that I applied the practice that if I see something out there that's disturbing me, the problem's not out there, the problem's in me. And I just need to delete the data, delete the ideas and the thoughts or the perceptions, the feelings that I'm holding about it. And my experience, not on the same scale as Dr. Hugh Len's, but, there was a person that I also had a very, it was in a spiritual group which I attended regularly, and this person couldn't stand me, I couldn't stand them. I won't go into the story, and I had to see them on a regular basis because I liked the groups I went to, and so I just thought, I'm not going to speak to that person directly. I'm just going to clear my anger, my fear, my story, my resentment until there's nothing left in me that can remember or hold a resentment or a grievance against that person or feel uneasy. And then it took, I think, a few months or something. And then the day it left, that person came up to me and said, Sabbir, you taught me a valuable spiritual lesson. I just want to let you know I'm leaving the country. So for me, it's like in resolving my experience of the situation, my feelings and my thoughts, I didn't just find that I got peace, but I also found the other person. So what it's doing is, if I clear my, my hurt feelings and my pain and my uncomfortableness about that ongoing relationship, if I just cancel those things in me until they're gone or forgiven or completely deleted, not only do I feel complete forgiveness and can let it go, but I often find that the other person, so it's like what the Course says in lesson 14, there's my personal rubbish, which I hold about people and myself. And then there's what's called collective belief systems. Like, I might meet someone, we might have a joint collective thoughts that we're sort of sharing a sort of a nightmare with each other. So if I clear them in me, it's generally speaking, as I see it, clearing it in them as well. So, as I get to complete forgiveness, like in that situation, which was 100% forgiveness, it looks like they also lost their resentment against me at the same time. So it's actually also practical, because sometimes spirituality can sound like, oh, I'm just going to forgive them and I still have to live with them. But actually, I found in my experience, even with ongoing relationships, when you completely forgive them, is also they become different. That's just my experience as well. So it's not just a benefit to myself to clear my stuff, but it's a benefit to them when it's done 100%. So okay, I'll just stop there.